welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Wednesday, August 2nd. Frank Granito in studio alongside Kevin Coleman as we are keeping you up to date on the local stories breaking around Fairfield County throughout the summer. Kevin, a little bit of a slow period here. Big news today really is what's going on at the Connecticut Open up in Ellington at the Ellington Country Club. And of course, tomorrow we got a big show coming up, though. We're going to be joined by Coach Mike Buswell and some of the players of the regional champion 14U Trumbull travel team.
Yeah, we had them in last week, if you remember, and I'm excited to have them back in, get to see what how their emotions are, especially after a very exciting championship game against Hingham Hall, Eastern Massachusetts. So it's going to be fun to have them back in studio. They were a lot of fun. They definitely showed their excitement not only for this tournament, but just to be in a studio like this. It's cool to see their excitement come in. Coach Buswell did a terrific job. So looking forward to kind of picking his brain a little bit of what he did coaching-wise throughout that tournament.
And it worked out, too. They were in here before the regional tournament, won that tournament. Hopefully we can give them the same kind of luck as they head off to the World Series in Glen Allen, Virginia. Again, that is tomorrow. But where I want to start today, Kevin, there are a couple of news stories involving coaching changes around Fairfield County. And let's start at Brian McMahon, where former coach Ken Dunstan has resigned after 5 years as the head coach of the boys basketball team, including McMahon going 14-8 last season and qualifying for the FCX tournament. They would lose to number 1 Trumbull. But a picture now of Derek Eason, former assistant and JV coach at Norwalk High, who will be replacing Coach Dunstan. Kev, your initial thoughts on this change?
It's surprising, I think, a little bit. Ken was a good coach in only 5 years. And I really liked how they played last year. They lost some pretty tough games. You're talking about one losing by a basket or two, and it's unfortunate, but they're starting a new chapter, I think, and they lost a big senior class, I thought. Eric Day, Matt St. Louis, that's a big senior class that they lose, and I think now they get Derek Eason as head coach. He comes in his first year after being an assistant coach at Norwalk, just switches over to the rival a little bit, but I think that's an exciting time for the Senators right now. They get a new coach, and this roster that we saw last year filled with a lot of sophomore talent. I think you look at this Brian McMahon team, a lot of good juniors I think are going to step up next year. The one thing that they need is size. They didn't have it last year. I think that's the one thing they should look for the future.
And it's very interesting, too, when you think about Coach Eason is a former Norwalk coach. He's a Norwalk High alum and now makes the jump to the other side of the rivalry. I think he understands, and he was quoted saying in the Connecticut Post, if you play at Michigan and come back to coach at Michigan State, you still want to beat them. It's just a little bit different. I think he'll do a very good job, and he made some good points now. They lose a big senior class. Size is obviously a huge factor, and we saw last year how important size can be. But a lot of the big men in the conference are graduating and leaving. I think you're going to see programs that are left with more of a Wilton-style roster than a Ridgefield roster from last year. So it might not be the worst thing they don't have size, but leading into this season, I would say McMahon basketball was in a much, I don't want to say better, but more controlled, sturdier state compared to Norwalk. Where do you see the two teams now after this move?
I still see them as a very competitive team next year. I think Saquon Williams is really going to be that guy who steps up for the Senators. But again, losing Eric Day, I mean, what a great talent he was, Frank. We really talked about how great he was all season long last year for the Senators, and they lose him. That's tough. And I think right now, like I mentioned, a lot of sophomores on this roster you saw are going to be juniors this upcoming school year. And I think they're going to step up. You look at some of the freshmen. Like I said, it's a new chapter. I think they're going to start fresh, and I think they're going to look at some of the young talent coming in, and maybe really make a push in the next year or two to become a new powerhouse. Because you're right, size in basketball now, you look at not just the high school level, you look at college, NBA, you're not looking at, you're not competing with some of these, tall centers anymore. You look at, not to get too off top, you look at the Warriors, for example. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of size.
No, you're right.
And the Wilton Warriors are a team that we looked at last year. They had no size down low, but these are teams, I think that you're right, you don't need size, but if you're athletic in the boards and you box people out like Schifrin did for Wilton Warriors, who I raved on last year, I thought he was excellent for the Warriors. I think that's all you need, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to have a guy around 6'2", 6'1", around there down low, because again, that's where it matters most, getting those rebounds.
Yeah, and it's your guys that are big. They don't need to necessarily be a 6'7" or 6'8" anymore. You get a 6'1" or a 6'2" guy who can play like he's 6'3" or 6'4", and he's got the ability of a young man who's 5'8", 5'9". That's the kind of player that coaches are looking for now. And this is also a hit to the Norwalk program, because Coach Eason has done a great job helping to develop the players at Norwalk through the JV program. He's an unbelievable bench coach. I mean, you have Coach Tom Keyes, who said it's a huge loss for Norwalk High. I'm going to have to find a way to replace him. But he's very happy, very excited. He's well deserving the opportunity, and agrees it's time for Coach Eason to have a shot at running his own program. So I think that'll be a very fun game now, too. It adds a little bit of extra flair to that Norwalk and McMahon rivalry. Not that it needed any, but it's interesting to see how quickly Coach Eason can get the ball running now for the Senators basketball program.
You're right. I mean, that rivalry doesn't need any more. I mean, we looked at last year. We saw him early on in the basketball season. You could tell, and it was at Norwalk High School. You could tell the gym was buzzing. There was a lot of buzz in that gym with both student sessions going at it. It's a fun rivalry between these two teams. I think you add Eason now to Brian McMahon. It's going to add a little more flair to it, I think, a little more fun. You're right. I think he's going to do a nice job. This is a guy who worked very hard for 8 years at Norwalk, you know, trying to pave his way to a head coaching job. Head coaching job opened up, and he went for it. And it's props to him. I think he's going to do a terrific job with the Senators. And like I said, you know, this is a hard-nosed team. You have to look out for the sophomores that they have in this roster. They're going to be juniors, like I said. I definitely think those are guys who are going to be athletic and want to win next year for the Senators.
Coach Eason said, I'm a Norwalk guy. It doesn't matter where I am as long as I'm helping Norwalk kids. That's what Joe Matafari, the athletic director for Brian McMahon, loved about him. I like his enthusiasm, and I like that he was born and raised in Norwalk. He has ties to the community, came highly recommended, and has really impressed us. There is more on this story at ctpost.com. per John Nash. Kev, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, I've got another coaching change that I think might surprise you, and I want to get into more. That's next on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Celebrate summer with fresh, made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The In Sports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DockShop.com.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month, here on the HAN Network.
We are back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network, following along with some of the top stories around Fairfield County sporting action here in this midsummer season as we get closer and closer to the fall. And Kevin, one of the more surprising changes I think we're going to see here, head coach Jeff Braymeyer of the Darien Lacrosse team and founder of the Connecticut Chargers Youth Lacrosse Organization is leaving the program. He is connecting up with the Long Island Express and looking to start a new brand here in Fairfield County, joining forces with one of the other elite programs of the tri-state area. The new group will run from youth to high school graduation years 2019 through 2027, hoping to have multiple teams at each year, a national team for the 2023 graduation year. One thing that stands out to me, and we can get into the logistics of the non-FCAC related issues here, but first, I think this could potentially, down the road, in the next 4 to 5 years, be opening up the door for Greenwich head coach Bobby Lutz to be taking over as the Darien head coach, and here is why. Coach Braymeyer has now accomplished nearly everything he could possibly accomplish at the high school level. I mean, he is getting older. How much longer do we really think he could do this? Bobby Lutz is a Chargers guy with him. They've run this program together. You have to assume he is now going to take over the operations there. You don't want to say he would feel slighted by New Canaan, but he was a guy who deserved the New Canaan coaching job a couple years ago. Didn't get it. If presented with the Darien coaching job, I don't know that there's a coach in America that wouldn't take that position.
I don't think I would turn that down, Frank. And I didn't play lacrosse. If you offered me that job, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But listen, I don't think this is a cause for alarm, I think what he's doing right now is he's still trying to help Fairfield County lacrosse, especially at the youth level. And I think him leaving is providing an opportunity, like you mentioned, for a Bobby Lutz. And I think for let him become the director and maybe let someone else become director, but he's still at the same time, while he's leaving, he's doing what's best for Fairfield County lacrosse. He continues, he really wants this to grow. And it's truly amazing what the work he's done and all the hard work he's put in to make sure that Fairfield County lacrosse is still on the map.
And it's all speculation. I by myself am saying I could see that Bobby Lutz situation shaking out that way. There is no notice or mention of Coach Lutz in the article at DarienTimes.com by Steve Buno. But you're right. It's still going to be a team that will most likely have Darien players on their roster. It's going to be similar to the Chargers, to the Eclipse, to the Long Island Express. It's an area team. You're not limited to just Fairfield players. They're going to be having practices in Fairfield, at the Sono Fieldhouse, in Westport, in Darien, at the Darien High School field. So you're still going to see a real mixing bowl of Fairfield County athletes who come to play for this team. But it's a very good idea, and it's a new challenge. You're trying to find a way, and the quote was, the goal will be to make it the best club in Fairfield County. So it is another new idea, and you're looking for another way to just spark life into the career of one of the greatest coaches in the history of high school lacrosse, not just Connecticut lacrosse.
Well, I think he's also trying to make this one of the best clubs, not only in Fairfield County, Frank, possibly in the nation.
Yes.
So I think, again, this goes back to what I was saying before, is what he's doing is he's stepping away, but at the same time, he's trying to find new ways, a more challenging way to make Fairfield County lacrosse even better. And frankly, I think that this is one of the Fairfield County lacrosse right now is probably at the best it's ever been. And it's almost scary to think where this lacrosse region is going to go in the next 4 to 5 years.
We will keep an eye on that and see what Coach Braymeyer has in store. Kev, I wanted to give you an opportunity now. There's a big event coming up for Ridgefield Soccer. It's it's a great charity cause, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, you've been a part of it now, but the alumni soccer game at Ridgefield High School is coming up, and I wanted to give you a chance to talk more about that and what we can expect at the end of this month.
So the alumni game is August 12th, Tiger Hollow.
Middle of this month, sorry.
That's right. From 5 to 7. It's a Saturday night, so it's going to be hopefully a nice night. Last year was the first annual, and believe it or not, we had not only did we have a thunderstorm, but we also had a double rainbow, and everyone, once we got back out in the field after halftime, everyone said that Ryan Megan was looking down at us. So again, this game is, you know, a great way to get together, but this is a game that we play for Ryan because he was a teammate of mine and teammate of a lot of us at RHS who unfortunately lost his life in 2015 in a horrible car crash accident over at UConn right by campus. So this game is for him, and you know, the Megan family has done an amazing job of just setting up this tournament, and you can see right here on your monitor. You know, you see the game right here for Ryan. Everyone gets to wear a blue and white T-shirt. The older guys like me now get to wear a blue shirt, but everyone wears number 12 because that was Ryan's number. So it's a beautiful night. And last year, the first one, we had over 50 alumni come, and we had over 400 in attendance. And this year, it already sounds like even more. Right now, it seems like we're going to have around 80 to 100 alumni come back. The first annual last year did so well that all these alumni want to come back. We have guys flying from across the country to come in. Some of my former teammates who live out west are coming in. So it's going to be a great night. I'm really looking forward to it. And again, we hope the weather can hold up because last year was it rained right before halftime. It was legit downpouring. So they called it off, and we all had to go inside, and maybe 15 minutes later a double rainbow came out. It's clear skies. So it was an amazing night, and again, it's just a great way for all the alumni at RHS Soccer to get back together, get to play again at Tiger Hollow under the lights. So it's going to be a great night. And again, the crowd last year was just amazing, so hopefully they can have the same turnout for this year. So it's going to be a great night, August 12th from 5 to 7 at Tiger Hollow.
Hopefully everyone gets out in sports again, August 12th at Tiger Hollow. We're going to take one more break on Nutmeg Sports. When we get back, we take a look at the 83rd Connecticut Open taking place at the Ellington Country Club. Final round is underway today. We've got more local news after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance Event. Now through August 31st.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network. If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
At Pure Barre Ridgefield, our tried and true method can shape every body and fit any schedule. Pure Barre is a total body workout using the ballet bar to perform small isometric movements which burn fat, sculpt muscles, and create long, lean physiques. Sweat away the day and get lost in the music. Pure Barre Ridgefield, located at 86 Danbury Road. Like us on Facebook at Pure Barre Ridgefield.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the summer clearance event, now through August 31st.
Back on the HAN Network, Nutmeg Sports, Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman in studio. The 83rd Connecticut Open is in its final round this afternoon from the Ellington Ridge Country Club. Jason Thresher, through 15 holes of play, holds a one-shot lead over Jeffrey Evanier. We've since then seen the tournament board update, as this was right around noon this afternoon, Kevin. We had those scores up there. Max Theodorakis of Danbury High School in the Ridgewood Country Club. He is currently tied for third place at -10. He's even on the day. Pete Ballo, former Trinity Catholic Crusader out of Woodway Country Club, 2 under through 14 this afternoon. He's tied for 7th. And you've got CJ Swift, TPC River Highlands is his home course. He's from New Canaan High School. He is sitting in 9th place. He's -3 on the afternoon, -7 in the tournament. The way it is right now, Theodorakis looking like the only FCAC guy with a chance to catch Thresher or Jeffrey Evanier at -11, who's in second. But another strong showing, Kevin, from former FCAC guys in a major tri-state golf tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope, and we're going to watch now and see if Theodorakis can pull away with this and come in first place. But again, you're right, Frank. I think it's excellent to see a representation of Fairfield County guys who are doing really well in this golf tournament. You mentioned CJ Swift. I thought he, again, 72 yesterday, 68 on Monday. A great round on Monday and Tuesday. So Theodorakis, on the other hand, he's playing well. We can only hope that he can climb his way, because we love to see an FCAC guy finish in first place.
Of course, Max was 2 under 70 in the first round. He was an 8 under 64 in the second round, playing even today. So looking like finally catching up to him, as he's just not getting the same breaks out there on the course. We'll keep you posted on that. Kev will have the final results for you tomorrow morning on your coffee break at 11 a.m. Of course, we'll break it down on Nutmeg Sports. Kev, I want to take some time. I've got a new question for you today, a couple of them tagged up here. The first one being, team more likely to repeat as a champion, Ridgefield hockey or Ridgefield basketball in the winter?
Ooh, both. I mean, you talk about two rosters that take a massive hit of seniors that graduated. That's a really tough question. I think hockey is going to take a big hit. You talk about Keegan's. I thought he was a guy that really carried this hockey team as a goalie for the Ridgefield Tigers. You look at basketball, just you look at SM player. You look at guys just. Great rosters filled with seniors. I'm going to have to say basketball because of McNamara. I think he's a playmaker. And I think he's that kind of guy that will take over a game. And you don't see that with a lot of guys in the FCAC right now. Maybe a handful have the talent enough to really take over a game just by themselves. But they have some young guys who I thought really put in some good minutes last year on the varsity level. And from what I keep hearing, Frank, that JV team last year for RHS, deadly. And now they get a chance to come up on varsity level. So I'm giving basketball an edge, but listen, hockey's always competitive for Ridgefield. But again, both teams taking huge hits with seniors graduating.
I don't know that I fully agree with basketball, only because I think Trinity Catholic figures it out in the FCAC this year. It was obviously they won the state championship, but a disappointing loss in the quarterfinals against Wilton. You've got Coach Walsh coming back for one more year. You've got a stacked senior class now. Led by Dimitri Moyes and Contavio Dutrail. So I think that is going to be tough for Ridgefield to compete with, and to go back-to-back in basketball is really, really difficult. It's underappreciated how tough it is.
Well, it's also difficult in hockey, too.
It is, but hockey is in a state right now. New Canaan is going to be down. They graduate a huge senior class. So the team you beat in the FCAC championship, it's very unlikely they're back there, and they're going to have a new coach in place. Darien could potentially be your toughest opponent. They've got a lot of guys coming up, but coming off a difficult year, there's still not a lot of experience out there. I don't know how much of a believer I am in St. Joe's just yet. Greenwich will obviously be the toughest challenge in the conference, and I think hockey-wise it might be easier to go repeat than in a very tough FCAC basketball conference.
Well, that's a fair point. And I don't disagree, because I think Greenwich is going to take a step forward this year. I really do think that. And I think last year a little disappointing. but I think this year they really make a push for that FCIAC final, and I think they're capable of doing that. They have the talent to do so. Ridgefield, yes, I do agree, but that's a huge senior class, Frank. You look at both sides. It's a difficult question. I'm glad you asked it because it raises concern for both teams, and I think now it gives us the opportunity to really dive deep. We're only in the fall or getting ready for the fall, but it really gets us ready for the winter season. Gets us ready and really starting to think about these rosters and who to look out for because both teams are going to be competitive. It just I don't see either one of them repeating.
Well, let me ask you this then. Sticking with the winter, if there was one school, and remember Ridgefield did this, it was only the third time in history that a school has held both the hockey and basketball FCIAC crown. If there was one school this year capable of winning both those titles again, who would it be?
Basketball and hockey?
Yes.
Ooh. That's a great. You really can't say because you look at Trinity is going to be a power horse in basketball.
And
hockey.
They are not the hockey team
They're not
used to be because Trinity is 1992 is
right.
They're one of those teams that has won that or has held both titles together. New Canaan being the other back in 1968, 1969. I don't know that there is one.
There is. I don't think there is. I think that's where you could say Ridgefield could do it again. But at the same time, they take that huge hit, I think, with that graduating class because that was an unprecedented last season because 2016, 2017 is going to go down as a season that...
I think it's the best class in the history of Ridgefield High School.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Greenwich, I think Greenwich Hockey is the team to beat next year. Yeah. You lose Connor Harkins. If he was coming back next year, I maybe give the Cardinals a chance in the FCIAC, but I don't know that I'm very sold. Trumbull, not going to win it in hockey. Danbury doesn't have a hockey team. It could be a long time before we see something like that again.
That's why I think what we saw last year was it was crazy and a lot of fun to be a part of.
So that's something that maybe we'll see again in our lifetimes. Who knows? Kev, that's going to do it for today. It is quitting time here for Nutmeg Sports. For Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We are back tomorrow. We'll see you at 2 p.m. only on the HAN Network.